think Banking Circle offers a unique combination of being, we are an established company, we are not completely new to everything, so we have things in order, but we still have the startup mentality that anything can be done. And I think that, for me, was one of the reasons why I wanted to switch to Banking Circle, because I think I hoped, and that was also what I achieved, that it would give me an ability to have an impact.
Charlotte, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us today.
Thank you for coming.
It's really nice meeting you.
Of course.
Before we start, just tell us briefly who you are and what you do.
My name is Charlotte Hassing, and I am responsible, or my title is Head of Client Channel Execution, which means that I am the business responsible for the development of our client-facing channels. That is our API and the client portal, sort of the bank portal that you're used to when you log into your bank, and the other channels that our clients can use to connect to Banking Circle and use our products.
Right, okay. Now, tell us a little bit about Banking Circle. What is it that the company does, and what's the core value proposition?
So Banking Circle is pretty much a payments bank. We are on a mission to make global payments faster and cheaper. What we've usually said is that, at least back in the day, it's taken 5 days and cost at least $50 to make a cross-border transfer. And we're on a mission to make that into 5 minutes and 5 cents instead.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and the way we're doing it is by connecting directly to the financial infrastructure of the different jurisdictions that we are present in. So we can remove all the intermediaries and be directly hooked up to the payment schemes and the financial infrastructure, and allow our clients to reap the benefits of that.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a very ambitious thing to actually achieve in the industry.
Yes, it's quite complex.
Right, okay. So tell me a little bit about what are the values and the principles that Banking Circle sort of promotes amongst its associates?
I think ambition is a key word for us. It's quite clear in the company and in the culture that we are a scale-up, and actually we started out as a startup, you would say, or a scale-up, founded as a department of a Danish bank, and scaled out of that, and have then been on a scaling journey since then. And it's quite clear that we, in our cultural values, that we have started as a very small company, and then we've grown with high speed to the amount of people that we are today. And I think that the values from being a startup, that still exists today, and that means that we're really promoting that you can do anything, and you can. It's your responsibility to say something, and you think something isn't working well or well enough, or maybe something is broken altogether. We're really promoting that you should speak up and do something about it. And I think then it is also possible to do something about it. It's we're not limited too much by bureaucracy around decision making and so forth. And I think that's really important, and something that makes me quite happy about working here.
Okay, so presumably then decisions are made much faster because there's not that much having to go through committees and that sort of thing? I
think so, yes. Of course, we have as a bank, we are regulated and have a banking license. We do have committees to make certain decisions, but I think we have a quite flat hierarchy when it comes to decision making, and there is definitely room for people on the floor, so to say, people that are engaged in the day-to-day work, to make decisions on their own without having to go through a whole chain of command to get it through. Right.
Okay, that sounds very attractive.
Yes, I think it is. I think it's really nice to experience that we've been able to keep those values even as we scale as a company. Yeah. Now,
tell me, what kind of person thrives at Banking Circle?
A person that is ambitious and that wants to have an impact on what they do, to be able to see that what they do today will actually be visible and have an impact tomorrow, or even today, of course.
Right.
But I think that's a person that would thrive here, being able to see the benefits of what you do pretty much instantly. And I think we also are a very diverse company, both in terms of our locations. We have most people working here in Copenhagen, which is pretty much all the development and some other functions as well. But we have offices all around the world. So I think it's also a very globally oriented company, both in terms of the mission we're on, but then also just because of the locations that we have and the people that are working here.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you're being a Danish company with operations globally.
Yes.
How do the Danish values translate into what you do in other regions? And let me explain, because I think Denmark is very closely associated with simplicity, with elegance, with this very high quality of wherever you look, whatever it produces. How do you ensure that those values that are very culturally associated with Denmark carry through with the operations in other countries?
I think it's perhaps most visible in actually how we take decisions and the fact that we have a flat hierarchy. And I think that's quite common for Denmark and for the Danish culture, that you don't have to stay silent if your manager has said something and set the direction. You don't have to stay silent. You can challenge it, and all of that being a bit challenging towards authority, so to say, I think is something that we have in the Danish culture that is also represented, and we've been able to carry forward in Banking Circle and throughout our locations. I think what you mentioned on quality is also something that we value very highly, and which is extremely important in the business that we're in. Processing millions of payments, we need to ensure that we have a stable and secure platform that runs all the time, so our clients can rely on us.
Right. So can you share with me what are some of the most interesting projects that Banking Circle is working in with some of these clients? I know there's confidentiality might be here, but anything that you can share with me.
I think one of the most important projects and exciting projects is related to the overall strategy and the mission that we're on to become direct on different financial infrastructures in different jurisdictions. And something that happened this year is that we obtained, or our sister company in the US obtained their US banking license, which will enable them to, first of all, engage with US banks and clients, but it will also it is also an enabler for allowing them to become members of the clearing and all the things that we have in Europe and in the United Kingdom. We now have the platform, so to say, with the license to do the same in the US.
Right.
And the end state will be that we are then again able to process payments for our clients without having intermediaries. And I think that's been a milestone for us with that license.
Okay, and let's say that I'm a recent graduate with a glaring profile. Let's say I'm a great developer, and I'm thinking financial services looks like a great company, like a great industry to work in. What would you tell me are the reasons that I should consider Banking Circle as a potential employer?
I think Banking Circle offers a unique combination of being. We are an established company. We are not completely new to everything, so we have things in order, but we still have the startup mentality that anything can be done. And I think that, for me, was one of the reasons why I wanted to switch to Banking Circle, because I think I hoped, and that was also what I achieved, that it would give me an ability to have an impact. And then I think compared to other Danish fintechs or banks, I think what Banking Circle has is the whole global element. I mean, our clients are Stripe and clients that process payments for millions of consumers and merchants. And I think that means that what we do will have a huge impact around the globe.
Charlotte, you mentioned some of the exciting projects that Banking Circle is working on. Can you tell me how is it that your colleagues can have a direct impact on some of those projects?
I think it is related to the way that we run projects or develop products, that we assign often a relatively small group of people to run with it, and they get the mandate to run autonomously, so they are empowered to take decisions and execute on those decisions without having a decision bureaucracy and being blocked by processes and other things stopping them. So I think the whole autonomy is something that allows us to get to have an impact on the things that we do, and quite quickly see the results or see the outcome of the work that we do.
Okay, so we know that autonomy is a very important factor to have in any job, just to keep people engaged. What about learning? How does Banking Circle enable the continuous learning of its colleagues?
And I think, first of all, Banking Circle is definitely a knowledge-heavy company in the sense that our core value or our value proposition is about this financial infrastructure and going direct, and that just requires a lot of knowledge. Knowledge about different payment schemes, knowledge about formats for processing payments, all of that, and of course also knowledge around what our clients need and how we deliver the stable, high-quality products to them they require. So I think inherent in Banking Circle, there is a knowledge journey just by joining the company, and you will meet a fountain of as just by joining the company, I think you'll be able to deep dive into the world of payments, and there is a lot to learn. And then in addition to that, we are promoting. I've just recently myself been on a management training course. I became a manager 6 months ago, and I think that's an example of Banking Circle making sure that their employees are offered the tools and the knowledge training that they need to be able to succeed in their role.
Right, and then I guess also people tend to be driven by the challenging nature of the projects and the work that they perform here. What would you say is perhaps some of the most interesting challenges that colleagues could expect from working at Banking Circle?
I think it's a combination of that the products or the projects you will get involved in are often very complex in nature. So I think there's a challenge in just understanding how things work. Yeah. We are an infrastructure company in that sense, so there's a lot to unravel and understand how things are working, and I think that in itself is a challenge. And then I think what's exciting and what has been quite exciting for me is also that we get to engage a lot with the end users of our products, so our clients, as well as our client-facing colleagues. But I mean, especially that we feel very close to the clients, and I think that's also makes it an interesting challenge that we feel the demand for our products and we're close to the clients when they start using it, or close to it when we are in the designing phases, trying to understand what should we be able to do, and then working with our clients to make sure that we deliver a product that will be usable and high quality for our clients.
You mentioned earlier that Banking Circle is a global company with operations in many countries. You're headquartered in Luxembourg. You're a Danish-founded company. How is it that you ensure that the operations and the spaces where you have colleagues in Denmark still remain with that international flair that the company has in other countries?
I think our HR department does a great job in making sure that we hire diverse people and that we have a very diverse culture. But I think also the fact that we work with payments, it's a very specialized area, and it means that the field for hiring colleagues, especially in this Copenhagen office, we need to look outside of Denmark's borders. So we have a lot of colleagues that have joined us from where they've relocated to join Banking Circle, and we've also had people joining that already worked in Denmark, even though they may not be Danish, worked in Denmark, but then chose to work for Banking Circle. Right. I think it's a combination of us doing something actively, and then also the payments is just a specialized area. So
Right. Okay. So then, just one last question to close. What is it for you the top 3 things that you like about working at Banking Circle?
I think it is. I feel very heard and very seen. I feel like if I have an opinion about something, someone will listen to me and then act on it. And I feel like that there is room to, if you're ambitious, there's definitely room to live that ambition, and you will also be rewarded for it. And then I think it's the whole setup around our company, the whole startup feel that we still have, and that there is little hierarchy, and you can reach out to anyone and you can get anything done. And that's really the 3 key things for me and why I enjoy working here.
Amazing. All right, Charlotte. Well, thank you so much for taking time to share all these wonderful things about Banking Circle with us.
Thank you.